Welcome to Chamber. First and foremost, Chamber is going to be a wonderful challenge this year. Number one, we're going into some college level theory. We're going to help upgrade everybody's knowledge when it comes to scales, key signatures, circle of fifths, how harmony works, how modulation works, how to take the melody, how to take the rhythm of certain composers and realize that that is their sound. Beethoven has a sound, Copland has a sound, Stravinsky has a sound. We're going to study those things, we're going to emulate those things, and then we're going to take a 2020 spin on it and try and do modern variations of music that's lasted for hundreds of years. So there's one component of Chamber. Second component of Chamber, lots and lots of scales, lots and lots of technique. These are some of the greatest musicians we have on campus, and I'm looking forward to developing their technique to get them to the next level. Next thing, composition. We're going to have the students write. We know that they're creative. We know they have things to offer. I'm looking forward to seeing what we pull out of these students in composition units. Next thing, improvisation. One of the big things that we used to have in the 16 and 1700s was being able to play by ear and being able to make up melodies on the fly. We'll be working on our improvisational techniques so that we reestablish what that element is to our music making. Then of course, we're going to be playing music. They're going to go through lots of pieces, some that are designed where everyone gets the melody so we can rehearse it as a group, some solo repertoire so that we can set up monthly recitals where students perform for each other in class, some actual orchestra music. Now when we do orchestra music, it's very challenging because we can't hear all the parts at once. It's just not possible with the current latency of WebEx or any other conference platform. So we know that when we practice these things, I have to go part by part, and then we have to build it together. And then if we are going to have an orchestral experience, it'll be of a virtual nature. So that means we'll record tracks, we'll layer them, we'll put it together, and then we'll be able to have a presentation. Chamber is the most likely ensemble to be able to do this year, because when you become a recording artist, you have to be somebody that has an incredibly steady pulse, the ability to work with a quick track, excellent intonation, excellent articulation, the ability to work with all this equipment, and to play through a piece of music with little to no errors. It's an incredible task, and it's something that I'm sure that our chamber musicians will rise up and be able to do. All of these students are also in double O, and I realize you think to yourself, well, they're in double O because they're there to support the other students. When WebEx gives us the opportunity for breakout rooms, we'll be putting those students in charge of smaller sections, and then they'll be able to work on the first violin part, or the second violin part, or the viola part, or the cello part, or the bass part, and they'll work in their small pod and they'll be able to give them support that way. That's one way that they're going to be supporting them. The second way is this. Chamber is going to push them, and it's going to make them sometimes feel a little bit frustrated, and this will be an opportunity for them to communicate with me so I can support them the best way possible. When they're in double O, these skills are new, generally speaking, for the entire program since I've redesigned the curriculum to suit the needs of remote learning here in 2020. So while some of it will be within their wheelhouse and that they'll feel relatively comfortable with that knowledge, I'm going to be very flexible that if I am doing some sort of review for some of our less experienced members of double O, they'll have the opportunity to practice, to do compositions, to work on their pieces for chamber. Thankfully, because we do live in a remote world, they're muted, so if they need to practice on something different, it won't impact our learning. That's how we're going to work on it right now. Those are some of the goals for this semester, and I'm so looking forward to working with this batch of young people. It's an incredible chamber orchestra. There is strength throughout every section, and every student here wants to learn. Very proud of them, and I'm excited to see what this version of learning produces by the end of the semester. Thanks so much for coming to Back to School Night. Please remember to always be your best selves, and I look forward to our paths crossing soon.